I'm a parent.
And I'm Glenn, and I research video games.
Welcome to this episode of Great Games, Better Brains.
We're going to talk today about a couple different kinds of games, specifically games for girls. One of the myths that a lot of parents have about video games is that it's just teenage boys playing video games. And in reality, we have a wide range of people playing video games online and offline, men and women of all ages. In fact, one of the largest, fastest growing cat of gamers is women 25 to 36 who play online games. But one of the myths is that it's just teenage boys, and part of that was because early on most of the games that were developed are really focusing on males, and what we found in the last couple of years is that game developers are starting to develop games just for girls and just for females. And you were talking, and I brought that up because this morning you were talking about one of the games that some of your kids are playing.
Right, we're playing Nancy Drew Mysteries.
Nancy Drew Mysteries. Tell me more about Nancy Drew Mysteries.
Well, in these DVD mysteries, we have to actually, it's interactive. You have to control with remote, or if you can do it on your computer, either PC or Mac, either one is fine. But you actually have to read and understand history and solve the mystery. I mean, it's in depth too.
And what age are we talking about? I mean,
10 and up.
So
you can be either junior detective or a senior detective.
Junior detective would be ages 9, 10, 11, 12,
Yeah.
and senior detective a little older.
Well, actually, after playing it, I would start out as junior detective. Because you get 5 helps that way, and you only get 3 helps if you're
and what are helps?
Senior detective. I don't remember what they're actually called, but they give you actually clues when you have to do challenges.
So you get stuck, you can ask for help from the game itself to give you some suggestions of what you're supposed to do next.
Yep.
And the nice thing about Nancy Drew, and I'd be curious, we're going to try to walk through some of this. Jamie's going to walk through as a player, but one of the nice things about Nancy Drew Mysteries is that they're designed just for girls. The focus is on girls, and one of the things that we know about especially tweener girls and teenage girls is they really like to work together. They like that collaboration. And in the game, you really do have to do those kinds of things, working with other people, characters in the game, working with outside researchers. There's a lot of chance for the girls in the game and the girls playing the game to work together. And that you even mentioned this morning, the kids that in your family playing the game are kind of yelling back and forth. Hey, did you write this down? And did you write, I need just the notes that you took. So even in your own kids, you've noticed some of that collaboration.
Oh yeah, I mean they're totally different personalities. One of them is controlling things, and the other one's taking the notes. Did you write that down? Make sure you got that. No, Caleb, go the other way. I mean it's
yeah. My own daughter played Nancy Drew Mysteries, and they're a lot better. The graphics are better than they used to be. My daughter played these about 2 or 3 years ago, and she got really frustrated. In fact, she was 10. So that kind of bottom level, they were really difficult. She was trying to play these games by herself, and she didn't have that collaboration, the chance to work and talk and think with somebody else. So they are hard games, but they really force kids to, use problem-solving skills, work together, do research, keep notes, keep records of things, do deductive reasoning, see clues that may not be that important early on, but become very important later on in the game. And in fact, I think I talked to you this morning about when my daughter was playing, her Nancy Drew had to do with Mayan and Aztec artifacts in a museum. There was a mystery in the museum that Nancy had to solve. And my daughter, Erin, had to go outside of the game and do research on Mayan and Aztec artifacts to find the answers and solve the puzzles inside the game. And even today, 3 years later, she still loves Mayan and Aztec stuff, artifacts and stories, and she's still, in fact, writing stories right now about South American, Native American tribes, and I'm not sure if Nancy Drew was the only reason, but it
sure helped.
Well, yeah, it couldn't hurt, right? She went out and had to do the research and came back into the game to help her solve problems in the game. She did this outside research. So some really cool stuff. Walk through, if you could. Let's show everybody kind of what Nancy Drew looks like, and kind of narrate as you go through. I'm kind of curious what this one looks like. Tell me about this particular game, and then walk us through like how Nancy would drive around in here.
Nancy would walk.
Okay, Nancy would walk.
Okay. Nancy Drew, she's going to walk around. It's called Blackmore Manor.
Right.
And she has to actually find the clues to help her solve the mystery.
So in this scene, we're in her bedroom in the manor.
We're in her bedroom in the manor, and we're going to look for items by using our little arrow keys.
So moving around, I just click the arrows. I don't click anything, I just move around.
And I'm kind of looking for some shiny things, just so that I know that I can interact with them. I could go out the door,
Right.
which I'm not going to do.
Okay.
I'm going to back up and find something I actually want to go see more of.
So you find out whether something's shiny is by running your cursor over it.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
I
there you
found
go.
something shiny.
Magnifying glass, love it.
So I'm going to click on it and open it. I have to figure out how to open it.
So there's like a little problem that you have to solve.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So using the hand, I can grab things. So I need to find green things. Oh,
I need to somehow get it.
got it.
Look, I got it.
Sweet.
Now I have to take that with me.
So you got a telescope lens.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So that goes in your pocket.
That
it
goes in my tools over
Okay.
here. It goes in my all acquired items.
Okay.
And then I have to use that, but I have to go find where I have to use it.
So to solve the final mystery of Blackmore Manor, you have to collect things by going around, talking to people,
Mhm.
picking things up, trying to make sense of what those things mean.
Right.
Okay.
And in her room, there's actually a telescope tripod. So I think eventually I'm going to have it all put together. And I think it's
okay.
going to lead me to solving the mystery.
Find something outside or look at
Mhm.
something. So it's not just easy to collect things. I mean, it's
No.
easy to collect things, but then you have to figure out how they all go together, and putting all those things together then
Right.
eventually helps you solve the final mystery. Very cool. Well, good. And your kids are how far into this?
We are, I'm not exactly how far, but we've just scratched the surface. I mean, it's very in-depth.
And you just got started, so you're just going from room to
Right.
room, talking to people, finding objects, trying to make sense of
And
it.
to get to different parts of the manor, you have to earn that. And you have to reach so many,
Points or research.
you have so many check marks. You have a
Okay.
checklist that
a task
a
list.
task list that you
Okay.
have to work off
Okay.
of.
Very cool. Well, that should give you guys out there a sense of what Nancy Drew looks like. It's pretty easy to get around, but hard to figure out. And that's the good thing. I think kids like to see the 3D part. They like to solve problems. They like to find things, the discovery of finding things. It's a really good game. So thanks for showing that to us. I really like Nancy Drew, and walking through that, it gives you an idea of the kinds of problem-solving skills that kids need to get through the game, and the collaboration that they may have to use to get through the game. So it's a really cool series of games. You can get, I think, up to 20, 21, 22 different Nancy Drew games at a website called Her Interactive, just like Her Girl, herinteractive.com. You can get 20-some games, Nancy Drew games. There's actually one Hardy Boys game on there. I'm not quite sure why, but they fit in a Hardy Boys game. The cool thing about Her Interactive is that you can also get free demos to download. There's about 6 or 7 different actual games you can download as demos. They're not the full game, of course, but they give you a
Right.
really good sense of the game itself before you buy them. And also on Her Interactive, you can play online games. So there's many Nancy Drew games, and there's a ton of them. I don't even know, 15, 20 different mini
there's just a
games
whole bunch.
that you can play online to get a sense of what these kinds of games do for your kids. So go to Her Interactive, play Nancy Drew, have fun.
With your kids even. I mean, you join in the fun.
One last tip. They are very difficult. In fact, my 10-year-old, when she was playing, and your kids may have to mess with this too, there's something called walkthroughs. And I, as a parent, didn't give her all the clues and didn't give her all the answers, but I knew what they were, so I could give her hints. And they're just called walkthroughs. If you do a Google search, Nancy Drew, the name of the game, the title of the
Right.
game, Mystery of the Museum or whatever, and walkthrough at google.com, and you're going to find walkthroughs that you can download, print out, and then you have the answers and help your kids through the maybe difficult parts.
Right. I mean, I wasn't telling them the answers, but I could give them just a direction by following that, which I did as well.
So just a little tip to help your kids not get real frustrated, because they are hard games and that's good, but you want to help them a little bit. So till next time, thanks for joining us on this episode of Great Games, Better Brains.
For more information, go to mykidsturn.com.
See you next time.